We on? What's up, guys? Broken Prophet here, and man, this is a spur of the moment video because I just got a realization of something, and I'm kind of shaking a little bit, and I'm about to explain why. This is gonna be the fastest I've ever gotten a video out, guys. Y'all see, it's like what 11:49, right? Hoodoo Standard Time. That's also Eastern Standard, but it's gonna be a fast video. And I should probably do something kind of dramatic like, hi, I'm the Broken Prophet, and this is my ghost story. But I'm not going to do that. Um, y'all, you would think after like over 30 years in hoodoo, right? Seeing so much spiritual phenomenon, so many different types of spiritual phenomena, encountering so many spirits, and I got to talk, it's late, so I'm talking softly. Hopefully y'all can hear me. That stuff shaking wouldn't phase me, right? But, huh, you know, you're never too old to learn or experience stuff. But anyway, before I get into this, man, gotta thank those of you who, been showing all your love and your support. I appreciate it. Thank you to Sharice, Denise, Pamela, Monica. I appreciate y'all so much for your donations. Thank y'all so much. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. All right. But so this is something that happened, and you know how sometimes your brain will key on something, but it's after the fact. It's like a time bomb hits you and your brain meets later on. That's literally what happened. I'm going to explain how. So I was just out checking the perimeter, Hoodoo Central. I do it every night. Y'all know it's real hard to shake me. This has me shook. But I was walking around the perimeter like I do every night, checking on my chickens. Y'all know the little chickens are not in here anymore. They're out there with the big girls, doing well. So Tamara, little Tam Tam is out there doing well. But I also just check the perimeter because even though Hoodoo Central 2.0 is surrounded by field, you never know. And I mean, you hear some of everything out there, stuff running through the brush or whatever. And I'm just out there walking, and I took my weapons with me, Hoodoo Dog, and and it's Bethlehem. Y'all know I'm gonna take the Bethlehem. And folks like, Prophet, why you take? Listen, I prefer to look. Hey, I don't care what's out there, man or beast. You got heart and lungs or whatever. That Bethlehem gonna find it. She got GPS. If it's in there, she gonna find it. But I'm out there walking around. Nothing to do with the story, but as I'm walking, I'm replaying things in my head because there was something about this situation that I'm about to tell you about that was just bothering me. And then once it hit me, I started to shake a little bit. And I want y'all to tell me if this was a spiritual occurrence. Go, move, because you're bumping the tripod. Move. So, y'all know I spend a lot of time telling you guys what y'all think spiritual is not. Y'all, Prophet, I think I'm hexed. No, you're not. You're dealing with the consequences of your own choices. Someone said a gnat fell into the glass of water on my altar. Was that significant? No, you need to clean your house. Because, and I'm not trying to burst anybody's bubbles. It's just, if I help you to see that some of these mundane things are not spiritual, your eyes are open to what the true spiritual occurrences are. So with that being said, I did the same thing, the same self-diagnostic, and I'm still stuck. That's why I'm telling you what happened, and hopefully you guys will tell me what it is. I know I'm rambling. I'm going to get right to it. So I've been babysitting this week. Right. Yeah, right. I was babysitting. I don't know why it is when you work from home, everybody assumes that you have time to do stuff for them. Those of you who work from home, y'all go through this too. Everyone assumes you can do stuff for them. So I was babysitting, but I still had some things that I needed to do. A couple of those things were I needed to go to the pet shop and I needed some chicken feed. Now, babysitting a little bitty little kid, like small. So loaded him up into the Hoodoo Mobile, strapped him into the little gimmick, drove to the pet shop. And my intent was to go to the pet shop and then go to the feed store. But, I'm nervous around kids. I don't know. So, you know, toting a little rascal into the pet shop 'cause I need to buy some frozen rat food. I go in there, realize this little joker is getting heavy. So I have, him in one arm and the frozen snake food in a bag in the other one. And as I'm heading out of the store, I noticed on the floor of the pet shop, they had a 50-pound bag of chicken feed. And I'm like, ha, eureka, this is perfect. I can get it all in one go. But I had a dilemma. Y'all parents out there, y'all know what I was facing. Little joke in one arm, a bag in this arm. How I'm gonna get that 50-pound bag of food? And as I'm pondering that dilemma, and I never noticed this guy before, but it was an older brother off to the side sweeping, and he put his broom down. I go there all the time. I had never seen him before. He puts his broom down and goes, "Hey, I can help you with that." And I put my pride to the side because he looked like he was older than me, but he was still in good shape. You can tell. He had on one of those. We call them Dickie suits. Those adult onesies that people paint in and stuff like that. He had on one of those. Average height, average build. Face looked like he could be anywhere from my age to 70, 75. One of those faces. Y'all have seen them before. But he offered to help. I graciously accepted. We walked to the front. I paid for my items. And he said, "Where you parked?" I said, "Right there." Walked to the Hoodoo Mobile. And, I opened up the door, put the little fella in the gimmick, and it. I don't know what y'all expect babies will do. Like, y'all think they're gonna launch through the ceiling? I mean, you gotta put it in here, and then put it in here, and then snap it together. And then there's one that looks like a torture device. You gotta snap that in. And then after all that, you gotta run the seatbelt across it. I'm like, man, this is a lot. So while I'm figuring that out, right, he's like, "Oh, hey, brother, where?" Oh, and I said, "I'm sorry. We're going to put it on the back seat also to the 50-pound bag of chicken feed. I'm putting the back seat also, but on the other side of the baby. Obviously, don't want to lay it on the baby, right?" So he goes around there, and then it dawned on me, Hoodoo Dog is in the back because it's SUV, and Hoodoo Dog's in the very back. And Hoodoo Dog is sweet, guys, but he's very protective when he's either behind his fence or in the car. And so I went to stop him, but he had already opened the door, set the food down. Hoodoo Dog stands up, looks at him, does nothing. Very abnormal, does nothing. And the guy reaches up and pets him. And when you have a dog that may or may not bite, y'all know, my heart kind of stopped and I held my breath because it was happening so fast. And he just pet Hoodoo Dog on the head and closed the door. And I'm like, wow, that's peculiar. But, Lord is smiling down on me, right? So he comes back around, and I'm struggling with the thing. He tells me, "Oh, you got to put it that way, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I hadn't forgot that part, of the whole strapping the contraption together, right?" So, and then he's like, "Yeah, I just moved down to these parts," and I'm like, "Wow, yeah, me too." He's like, "One thing I found about down here is da 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 da," and I'm like, "Yeah, me too." And we just struck up a conversation where it's like everything that he was talking about was something that I had experienced, wondered about, was, seeking solutions for. But he had found the solutions to the things. It's like somebody giving you answers to a test. Okay? Because I don't talk about it a lot but moving down here was a huge transition for me. And it's totally different from my previous incarnation, way of life, whatever. So I'm constantly, finding out that things are different from where I lived before. Distances are further. People are different. Stuff like that. But in him explaining how he dealt with it, it was just, I'm like, I could have literally gone down, guys, and checked off the list with the things this brother was telling me. And I was just like, wow, cool. I don't even have to think about this stuff anymore. This brother's he's giving me the cheat codes for down here, the answers. And so I'm like, brother, I feel like I know you. I didn't catch your name, and he was like, oh man, don't worry about it, young blood. I ain't nobody. If you from the South, we say stuff like, I ain't nobody. We say stuff like that all the time, right? And he was like, I feel like I know you too. And I'm like, I just got one of them faces. That's something I say all the time. And so, double check on the youngin'. And as I turn to thank this guy again and, maybe tip him, he's already gone back in the door. Didn't no bye, no take it easy, nothing. He's already like back in the door. I see him going into the pet shop and the door closing, right? And that also struck me because I wasn't parked at the front door. I mean, we had to walk to the parking lot, but I'm like, hey, maybe he ran. I don't know. Oh, wait, let me back up. I almost messed up like the whole thing about the story, right? And I don't and that this part is fuzzy, but at some point we shook hands. Remember this part. We shook hands and I didn't think anything of it, blah blah. But so loaded up the car and we're down the road. That's where I thought the story ended. That is not where it ended. Because I'm thinking, like, how does he? I mean, it's almost as if he was giving me a reading, right? Almost like he was giving me a reading. Well, all the things I was worried, concerned, troubled by, and then giving me answers. It's like I was getting a reading from this older cat. And, I was appreciative, right? But it was almost too perfect, And that bothered me. So I went back to the pet shop. He wasn't there. I asked the lady at the counter. This is a different person from that day, right? Different person. I asked the lady, I'm like, hey, such and such. And she was like, well, no, nobody like that works here. And I'm like, but then as I'm describing him, I'm feeling like an idiot. I'm like, black guy, average complexion, average height, average. I mean, there was nothing that stood out. It was just average height, just a person, right? But she hadn't seen him. And I'm debunking this in my head. I'm like, I know this guy was not a ghost. It was a different cashier. Maybe he was a new hire. And you know how when you go to a new job, your first day, somebody's off. So if you ask the person who's off, about you, they wouldn't know because they hadn't met you yet. So I'm thinking maybe this cashier just hadn't met him yet. He was a new hire, blah, blah, blah. And like I said, I try to debunk things. But here's the crazy part. This is the part that hit me when I was walking around the perimeter with Hoodoo Dog. And I want y'all to tell me what y'all think about this. Because this is the part, remember I said, your mind will key on something that it didn't get before. And I knew instantly outside what it was. Remember, I almost forgot to tell you guys, and I said, remember this? At some point, I shook his hand. That was the part where my brain meets were like, that was it. Guys, when I shook his hand, it felt like I was shaking like a latex glove, right? But he wasn't wearing gloves. It was just his hand. And then it dawned on me why I felt that way, guys. He didn't have any lines on his hands. Like there were no lines. That's why his hand felt so smooth. There were no lines. And that's something that I caught that my mind didn't process. And then it dawned on me. I asked that brother, I mean, think about it. Your handprints literally define you. If you've been fingerprinted, they're all different. Your handprints define you. So who is somebody without fingerprints? He told me when I asked him who he was, what his name was. He said, man, I ain't nobody. Hadn't seen him since. Been back up there. I don't know, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But anyway, I had to get this video out. Man, I appreciate you guys. The next video that I'm going to record tomorrow is going to be how to discern spiritual occurrences, because I'm actually going to go and do some things just to make sure I'm not going crazy. All right. But anyway, guys, thank y'all for tuning in. Keep the wicks on them candles trimmed. Keep that Bethlehem close. And hey, we going into the holiday season. Things are about to ramp up. Business is about to pick up. All right. But y'all are amazing. I appreciate you. Thank y'all so much. Prophet out.